an absolute blockbuster now. This isn't just about where the Roosters can end up. This could be, are the Storm going to make a top 4? Can they drop out? Who knows? But obviously, let's look at the squads. The Melbourne Storm team list is up there on the screen. And as this is my team they are playing against, I will let you talk about both teams first, then I'll respond. But just the major talking points, obviously, Kafusi does return from personal leave. Xavier Coates is going to be monitored based on his head knock. So, yes, he's named. He could drop out. I'll let you go first. Melbourne Storm, look at the side, look at the squad. Brandon Smith starting, Harry Grant starting, Jerome Hughes, Cameron Munster. The list goes on. It's an absolute crazy team. How do you see this team playing out? And then we'll pop the Roosters up and we'll grab your prediction.
Yeah, look, this is a good team on paper. Whether or not this is one of those games where it's just really tight or it blows out, we'll wait and see. But you sort of touched on it there with the Xavier Coates situation being monitored for his head knock. Now, let's just say he does move. Don't move. He actually gets ruled out. So I'm just having a look here at the more extended bench here for the Melbourne Storm. So let's just say Xavier Coates gets ruled out for the head knocks. Nick Meaney will more likely go to the wing. You'll see Munster push the fullback, and then you'll see a possible Cooper Johns coming into a number 6 role, and you'll just see more money being ticked over for Munster when he goes and sits down with the Melbourne Storm yet again. He did have a meeting today, a good hour meeting from what I've heard, and now they're in the ballpark. So watch this space. Watch Melbourne Storm re-sign Cameron Munster. That's who I'm thinking it's going to be. This is going to be a great game for everybody. Following on to the Roosters, the Roosters side looks strong again. It's an unchanged squad. I think I mentioned it weeks ago. Matt Lodge is becoming this player that under a certain coach you can get the best out of him. I think Trent has done that. Obviously, pairing him up with Jared Hargraves there at the starting front rowing positions. They're very good. Victor Raleigh packs the scrum in at lock, and look, this is a good sign. Lindsay Collins comes back from his head knock, and if I had to pick a prediction, I'd love to see a golden point here, because these two teams are going to go. They've got a point to prove. There's something on the line for both of them, and it's going to be a great game for me as a neutral.
100%. Obviously, first I'll just pop it up quickly back on the screen. I'll talk about that Melbourne Storm side. Yeah. Obviously, like you said, there is all the chance that Xavier Coates does drop out, and I completely agree with you that Nick Meaney will move to that number 5 position. Cameron Munster will go to number 1, and obviously Cooper Johns will come in. I think if the Storm were to give teams like Penrith and maybe even the Cowboys a real shake-up come finals, they need to throw something different at them. And I'm not saying they're becoming predictable, because they're still going to dominate half of this league. But where they become unpredictable is when they do move Munster there. Penrith hasn't faced him like that before. The Cowboys haven't. The Roosters haven't. It's a real chance for them to shake that up. So I think that's what needs to happen if the Storm are a massive chance to win this premiership. But I'll put the Roosters one back up on the screen. Like you said, Lindsay Collins does return. Siasua Takiaho obviously does also return from his cheek bone fracture. That's a very good bench. We've spoken when obviously we went to the Cowboys game. We talked about how Hargraves came off, Matt Lodge came off, and the Roosters kind of went flat in that middle third. This team right here, it excites me, obviously. If Radley has to come off, you've got Connor Watson that can slip in there. If Verrills has to come off, you've got Connor Watson. If you need to give Hargraves and Lodge a rest, you now have Lindsay Collins and Takiaho. Butcher's playing out of his brain. Drew Hutchinson's the 18th man. Like you said, it's going to come down to the wire. I hope we don't take it all the way to Golden Point. I hope we win it before that, because Friday's my birthday, boys. Listen, Roosters, it's my birthday Friday night. I don't want anything else. Just bring home the 2 points. Give us a final secure, and I'll be a happy man. But Baxter, I'll let you go first. I have my prediction. I think we know which way it's going to go, but 1 to 12, 13 plus, who are you taking?
Only because they're at home. It's going to be Melbourne, 1 to 12, but I would love to see Melbourne win a golden point.
I'm gonna go a bit out there. I'm gonna go. No, you know what? I'm gonna keep it reserved because every time I go out there on my own team, we end up losing. So I'm gonna go reserved here. I'm gonna go 1 to 12 to Roosters. However, it would not shock me that if either team pulls a 13 plus out of the bag in this game.
Yeah.
Only because of how close it's meant to be. Bodies are going to get battered. Bodies are going to get bruised. And there's a very, very, very big chance that gaps are going to open now. I might be wrong. The Tigers might have just been the Tigers, but I think the way the Roosters are running holes, Angus Crichton, now that he's secured his contract, he's looking brilliant. Butcher, I know we don't like talking about injuries, but he has absolutely shined since he's come into this starting lineup for injury. I think it's an exciting time if you're the Roosters now. Looking at the run home, obviously we take on Melbourne. We then take on the Rabbitohs at the new SFS Allianz Stadium. Melbourne obviously take on us this week. And then they take on
Storm, they got the Eels.
Parramatta.
They got Parramatta,
the Parramatta Eels
away.
So
Parramatta away.
Let's just say you've obviously gone Storm here. Do you see the Roosters beating South? And obviously, in the same thing, do you see Storm beating Parramatta?
I see Roosters beating South, just given the fact that it's the new home ground. I think you get a little bit of buzz around that from your blokes, should I say, your fans. But I think Storm get over the Eels in the last round. It'll be good to see Eels knocked out, but yeah.
Well, there you go. Both teams should be making the top 8 if one of our predictions comes true either way. But Baxter, again, this has been the Storm versus Roosters round 24 preview, guys. If you are liking what you're hearing, we had some great viewership last week, but only minimal subscribers did subscribe from last week. Please, it takes 2 seconds. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Help the channel grow. And again, thank you for your support. And Baxter, we'll be back soon with that Raiders taking on Manly.
Peace.